Eagles don't chase storms. They ride them to new markets. Write that down. Say it out loud. I am an eagle. I was not born to scratch with chickens. I was born to ride thermals to nations. Isaiah 40:31 declares, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. Mount up means leave the nest, leave comfort, leave excuses. The nest was for your nurture, not your future. Your assignment is altitude. Your assignment is nations. Listen carefully. The world doesn't eat seeds. The world eats fruit. Genesis 1:28 is not a religious poem. It is God's business plan. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. Fruitful means produce something tangible. Multiply means scale it. Replenish means distribute it until the earth is stocked. Subdue means control the access. Dominion is the result, not the pursuit. If you keep your gift as a seed, ideas, dreams, prophecies, journals, the market will starve while you worship your potential. Produce something. Write that down. Potential is not a product. Vision is not inventory. Talent is not a brand. Fruit is a product. The earth pays for fruit. I met a young woman in Nairobi, listen, sitting on a gift like a hen on an unhatched egg. She brewed herbal teas that settled the stomach and cleared the mind. For years she prayed over seeds called recipes. One day she converted those seeds to fruit. She bottled one blend, gave away 50 samples on buses, and posted a simple message at dawn every day. Morning clarity now brewing. That was her first liftoff. Within a year, distributors were calling her. The seed did not feed her, the bottled fruit did. Are you getting this? Every problem is a business. Every seed must become fruit. Tell your neighbor, produce something I can buy. I am not here to motivate you. I am here to deploy you. Deployment means you leave the nest with a flight plan. Write this down. Daily disciplines convert a hidden gift into global reach. Not someday, not when you feel like it. Daily. Discipline is the runway, and consistency is the engine. Over the next sessions, I will hand you 7 eagle habits tied to platforms that will carry your fruit on thermals to nations. Early flight discipline to win the morning in the market. Storm has lift thinking to turn headwinds into highways. Whopper focus to master one problem, one offer, one avatar. Fruit first flagship to make your gift discoverable on a clock. Multiply with templates and replication engines. Replenish through omni-channel translation and syndication. Subdue by building community roads and protective moats. And we will wrap them all inside an Eagle Tracker, a simple scorecard that records your daily takeoff, and every habit will come with say it affirmations to set your internal autopilot. Let me anchor you in scripture. Matthew 25 says, the master gave talents, each according to his ability, then he went away. He did not give instructions to bury, he expected fruit. The 2 who converted talent into fruit were commended and promoted. The one who protected the seed was judged unprofitable. Hear me. Hiding your gift is not humility. It is disobedience to potential. Say this, I will not bury, I will become fruitful. Eagles don't flap frantic. They find thermals. The thermal is a law, an invisible current that carries you higher with less effort. The 7 eagle habits are thermals. They will not make your seed valuable. They will reveal it as fruit, visible, tasteable, transferable. Money follows value. Influence follows usefulness. Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, not manipulation, generated by a passion, motivated by a vision, born from a conviction, produced by a sense of purpose. Now turn that sentence upside down and begin at purpose. That's where we go next. Because influence is a result. We will begin with purpose. So your habits are not mere routines, but righteous rhythms. Say it. I am necessary. I am God's solution to a problem He created me to solve. If I don't deploy myself, I will be employed by someone who did. From nest to nations, this is your flight path. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, have dominion. Lift your head, spread your wings, and prepare your heart. We start with purpose so your fruit can fly. Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, not manipulation, generated by a passion, motivated by a vision, born from a conviction, produced by a sense of purpose. Write that down. Now turn it upside down and start from purpose. Purpose produces conviction. This is why you cannot be bribed. Conviction births vision. Now you can see beyond what your eyes can register. Vision ignites passion, energy without coffee. Passion inspires people. Now they follow you, not because you pay them, but because you caught them on fire. Inspiration creates influence, and influence is leadership. So leadership is not something you chase. It is something you become when purpose hires your life. Say it. Influence is a result, not a pursuit. Proverbs 19:21 says, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the purpose of the Lord that prevails. Plans are many, purpose is one. That is why so many are busy but not effective, active but not productive, present but not sent. Jeremiah 1:5 declares, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Purpose precedes birth, which means your job is to discover, not invent. Why you are here. Stop chasing titles. Stop rearranging chairs on a grounded aircraft. Find the need you were born to solve and let vision hire your habits. Write that down. Vision is an employer. Habits are employees. If you don't have a boss called vision, your days will wander and your nights will worry. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. One translation says, cast off restraint. No vision, no discipline. Vision is a governor. It tells you what to do at 4 a.m. and what to ignore at 4 p.m. When you see clearly, you schedule ruthlessly. When you schedule ruthlessly, you ship consistently. When you ship consistently, the market can find you. That's how influence is born, through visible, reliable fruit. Say it. I am necessary. My gift solves a real problem. I will deploy, not beg for employment. Listen, titles can be rented. Purpose cannot. I met a young man in Accra who kept chasing promotions. New business card. Same confusion. I asked, what problem annoys you enough to fix it? He said, queues. People wasting hours to pay bills. That annoyance was his clue. He built a simple system to schedule and stagger walk-ins. First he served 1 clinic, then 5. He didn't post a selfie with a title. He produced fruit that removed pain. The fruit pulled influence like a magnet. Are you getting this? Every problem is a business. Purpose is discovered where pain irritates your spirit and won't let you sleep until you solve it. Ephesians 2:10 reminds you, we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand. Prepared beforehand means there is a fitted work waiting for your deployed gift. That's why employment is safe, but deployment is destiny. If you don't deploy yourself, you will be employed by someone who did. And that is not an insult, it is an invitation. Deploy your purpose and let leadership find you at work. Now hear the bridge. Purpose needs a process or it will remain poetry. The earth does not pay for potential. The earth pays for predictable fruit. God was kind. He gave you not just a command, but an operating system. Genesis 1:28 outlines the 5 kingdom business laws. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, have dominion. That is the process that takes purpose from conviction to corporation, from vision to visibility, from passion to platforms. In the next movement, I will lay the blueprint inside your hands. But for now, settle this decree in your spirit. I am necessary. My gift solves a real problem. I will deploy, not beg for employment. Purpose will hire my habits. Vision will govern my time. And influence will come as a result of faithful fruit. Blueprint time. Genesis 1:28 says, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. That is not 5 options. That is one sequence. Write this down. Sequence produces sovereignty. Start wrong and you end in frustration. Start right and you end in dominion. Be fruitful means produce a product. Convert your invisible gift into visible fruit. Multiply means replicate, turn one into many through systems and templates. Replenish means distribute. Stock the shelves of the earth until your fruit is easy to find. Subdue means control, access, own the roads, the gates, the list, the community. Dominion is the result category influence, where your name becomes the default answer. Say it. Product, scale, distribute, control, access, dominion follows. Let me translate this for creators. Fruit is not a feeling, it is a flagship. A weekly flagship that demonstrates your gift on a clock. The podcast, the tutorial, the market report, the prototype drop, the teaching clip, the Saturday tasting. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't fruit, it's a fantasy. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain, that he may run who reads it. Plain means predictable. Predictable means the market can run to you. When you ship one flagship weekly, you are being fruitful. Write that down. A clocked flagship is fruit on display. Now multiply. When you can do it once, design it to happen again without you straining. Turn your flagship into a series, then a template, then a bundle. Create outlines you can hand to a team member. Record standard operating procedures. Build a content calendar that repurposes one flagship into 10 derivatives, clips, quotes, carousels, infographics, summaries. Multiply is not more hustle. It is patterning your gift so it reproduces. This is where the cookie lady becomes a bakery brand, one recipe, many batches, consistent quality. This is where a teacher becomes a micro-university, one lesson, a series, then a curriculum. Replenish the earth means distribution. Stock the planet, omnichannel, translation, syndication. Don't wait for the world to come to your one stall. Take your fruit to where their attention already shops. Post on platforms, yes, but also capture email, SMS, podcast feeds, streaming channels, and partnerships. Translate your flagship into Spanish, French, Swahili, Hindi. Tongues are also markets. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9, I became all things to all men, that by all means I might save some. Adapt your packaging without altering your essence. Replenish means surface area of discovery increases until strangers stumble onto you like a storefront on every corner. Subdue means control access. Own the road your fruit travels on. This is where you build your list, your community portal, your own app, your membership, your licensing terms. It's where you choose who gets wholesale pricing, who becomes an affiliate, who gets early access, and how the gates open. Producers write the rules for roads they own. Consumers stand in line on roads owned by others. Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives you the power to get wealth, to establish his covenant. Power, there is capacity and control. When you subdue distribution, you set calendars, you set fees, you set standards, you insulate your fruit from platform storms and algorithm winters. Dominion is not noise, it is default. It is when the market thinks, who solves X, and your name arrives before their sentence ends. It is when invitations, not applications, fill your calendar. It is when you stop chasing and start choosing. Never pursue dominion. Pursue the sequence and dominion pursues you. Apple did not begin with stores and status. They began with a product called fruit. Then they multiplied into lines, replenished through carriers and retail, subdued by owning an ecosystem, and now they dominate categories. McDonald's doesn't pray over burgers, they obey the order. Product, scale, distribution, control, then dominance. Write this down. Global brands are writing a divine law that the church forgot. Here is the bridge to your day. The 7 Eagle Habits operationalize this sequence. Habit 4 makes you fruitful. A weekly flagship on a clock. Habit 5 multiplies templates, series, and replication engines. Habit 6 replenishes omnichannel, translation, syndication. Habit 7 subdues on the list, the platform, the community roads. Habits 1 and 2 are the altitude and the mindset that make them consistent. Early flight discipline and storm as lift thinking. If you do this daily, the laws work for you nightly. Say it. I am fruitful. I multiply. I replenish. I subdue. Dominion follows me. I met a young designer who kept praying for clients but had no flagship. I said, produce a weekly teardown. One brand, one redesign, 10 minutes, same day, same hour. She did it 6 weeks straight. That was fruit. She then created a template pack from the best episodes. That was multiply. She posted the clips on 3 platforms, translated captions into Portuguese, and pitched 2 niche newsletters. That was replenish. She built an email list and a private Slack where she taught a monthly clinic and released her packs early. That was subdue. Within months, when people said clean fintech UI, her name was the default. That was dominion. Producers, not consumers, write the market's rules. Your king already wrote the laws. Genesis 1:28 is your blueprint. Follow the divine sequence. Product, scale, distribute, control, access, dominion follows. Now set your face like flint. We are about to engrave these laws into habits that cannot be broken. Habit 1, early flight discipline. Eagles rise before the winds. They don't wait for chaos to decide their climb. They meet the dawn and own it. Write this down. Consistency at altitude precedes visibility. Win the morning. Win the market. Mark 1:35 says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up and prayed. Isaiah 50:4 adds, he awakens me morning by morning. He awakens my ear to listen like one being instructed. Why early? Because destiny speaks before distractions do. The first thermals are holy. Protect them. Mastery is morning work. Ask Tiger Woods 4 a.m. reps while the world sleeps. That's not punishment. That's positioning. You cannot be average and early at the same time. Average arrives with the crowd. Eagles lift off ahead of the wind. Write this down. Protect the first thermals. The first 60-90 minutes of your day must be a consecrated creation window. Not scrolling, not replying, not negotiating, producing. Fruit, not feed. If you give your first win to consumption, you will spend the rest of the day paying interest on someone else's agenda. Seek wisdom early. Proverbs 8:17 says, those who seek me early shall find me. Seek your gift early and you will find your fruit. Here is the protocol. Set a fixed creation window, 60 or 90 minutes, same start time, same seat, same tools, every day. Pre-decide the night before. One problem, one outline, one piece of fruit. Phone in another room, tabs closed. A single timer. This is your liftoff. During that window, you work your flagship and its derivatives. Outline today's post. Record the 1-0-minute teardown. Finalize the recipe card. Polish your tutorial. Export the clip. Draft the carousel. You are not aiming for perfect. You are aiming for shift. Habakkuk 2:2 says, make it plain so he may run. You cannot run with what you did not write. Then, train the market and the machine. Publish at the same time. Every time. Schedule the 7 a.m. YouTube drop. Set the 7:30 a.m. LinkedIn post. The 6:45 a.m. newsletter sends at dawn each Tuesday. Why? Because reliability is a brand. You are teaching humans and algorithms when to find you. You are turning your fruit into an appointment on the world's calendar. Write this down. When you keep time, time keeps you. Measure what matters. Your metric is not vanity views. It is street count and blocks completed. How many consecutive days did you lift off? How many 60-minute blocks did you convert into fruit this week? This is why we build the Ego Tracker. Count streaks, not likes. Count finished outputs, not applause. Applause is delayed. Faithfulness is now. David killed bears and lions in private before he became a public champion. Private streets create public strength. Let me pastor you for a moment. Early will fight you. Your bed will preach a soft gospel. Your phone will offer liturgies of distraction. Answer with a louder truth. Purpose is my alarm. Destiny is my caffeine. Say it. I win the morning. I shift daily. My excellence is predictable. Again, I win the morning. I shift daily. My excellence is predictable. I met a young videographer in Kingston who could edit for 12 hours straight but posted randomly. We set a 4:30 a.m. liftoff. 60-minute edit. 1-5-minute export. 1-5-minute caption. 6 a.m. upload. 7 a.m. premiere, 7:30 a.m. LinkedIn clip. 30 days later, his streak was 27 over 30. Views, modest. But 3 producers DM'd him at week 2 because reliability signaled maturity. By week 6, he wasn't chasing gigs, he was choosing them. Consistency birthed visibility. Are you getting this? The world pays for predictable fruit. Tomorrow morning is not a suggestion. It is an appointment with your future. Prepare your tools tonight. Set your timer. Name your flagship. Pick your published times. Write this down. If you don't deploy your mornings, someone will employ them. Lift off before the winds. Protect the first thermals. Shift on a clock until heaven and earth can set their watches by your excellence. Say it one more time so your soul believes it. I win the morning. I ship daily. My excellence is predictable. Now listen, once you lift off, the sky will not always be blue. Real vision attracts real wind. James 1:2-4 says, count it all joy, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience, that you may be perfect and complete. Write this down. Storms aren't interruptions. They're elevators. Eagles don't fear headwinds. They spread wings to catch them. Creators don't panic in turbulence. They spread content. Say it. I don't chase storms. I ride storms to new markets. Acts 8 records a violent disruption in Jerusalem. Verse 1 says, persecution scattered the church. Verse 4 says, those who were scattered went everywhere preaching the word. The storm became distribution. The pressure that tried to silence them multiplied their message. Genesis 50-20 echoes it. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good to save many lives. That is the storm is lift mindset. Write it down. What resists you can assist you when you pre-design how you will ride it. Here is how eagles pre-design storm packs. A storm pack is a pre-built response template you trigger when winds shift. You don't improvise under pressure. You deploy a kit. Build 4 families of packs. Trend pack. When an industry topic spikes, you release a 60-second short, a 5-step thread, carousel, and a call to action that ties the topic back to your one offer. News pack. When a platform or policy changes, you push a what it means plus what to do, explain it within 24 hours. Host a 5-minute live Q&A and route viewers to your audit, checklist, or starter product. Algorithm pack. When reach dips or format shift, you publish a 3 to keep, 3 to start format with examples from your niche and invite signups to your deeper clinic. Frequently asked questions pack. When you hear the same objection twice, you assume 100 silent voices. Record a crisp answer. Write the canonical post. Create a downloadable one-pager and set it to auto-respond for that keyword. Write this down. Pre-built beats panic. Pre-built turns storms into speed. Your platform move is a 2-4-hour rapid response rhythm. Headwinds have a half-life. You must ride them while the air is hot. Within 24 hours, you post a shorter reel answering the top question in plain language. You publish a thread, carousel, that gives steps with screenshots. You go live for 10-15 minutes to interact and funnel to your core offer. Tie every piece to search demand. Use the exact phrases people are typing, then bridge to your solution. Don't drift into novelty. Storm content is a door that opens to your same house. If your Whopper is payroll for freelancers, your storm take on new tax rule always ends at your payroll system. Are you getting this? Storms are not a new menu. They are a new highway to your same fruit. Systemize your Skywatch. Calendar, a weekly storm scan 20 minutes. Same day, same hour. Review Google Trends for your keywords. Check industry alerts and newsletters. Skim the TikTok sounds library and for you trends relevant to your field. Note platform update blogs. Scan your inbox and comments for repeated questions. Out of that scan, assemble a 3-piece response kit for the highest likelihood storm you see coming this week. Title, outline, CTA. Save it in a red folder named Storm Ready. Then when the wind hits, you click publish, not panic. Write this down. Preparation is prophetic. What you prepare for, you are positioned to serve. Let me show you. A seamstress in Kumasi messaged me during a fabric shortage. That's a storm. She deployed her trend pack, a 60-second reel, 3 elegant dresses from leftover cuts, a carousel of patterns, and a live Q&A on fitting without waste. She linked every piece to her custom fit without fittings virtual package. In 72 hours, she sold out her next 3 weeks and added 1,200 emails. The shortage became her showcase. Another creator saw an Instagram update, kneecap carousels. He launched a thread, IG changed 3 things to keep, 3 to stop, 3 to start, went live that evening and offered a $49 audit. He booked 37 audits in 4 days. Headwinds became highways because packs were pre-designed. 2 Corinthians 2:14 says, "Thanks be to God who always leads us in triumph and through us spreads the fragrance of the knowledge of Him in every place." Spreads, hear that? Storms spray scent. Your job is to have bottles ready. Stop complaining. The algorithm punished me. Producers translate pain into packaging. Write this down. Criticism is content. Questions are scripts. Delays are case studies. Every problem is a business, and every headline is a highway for the prepared. Here is your assignment. Build 4 storm packs this week. Trend, news, algorithm, frequently asked questions, each with a 60-second template, a 5-step thread layout, a live Q&A outline, and a single CTA back to your core offer. Schedule a 20-minute weekly storm scan on your calendar and protect it like church. Set a 24-hour response standard for yourself or your team. Track it on your Ego tracker. Storm scanned, packs deployed, list growth from storms, revenue tied to storm CTAs. Say it. I don't chase storms. I ride storms to new markets. Again, I don't chase storms. I ride storms to new markets. Headwinds become highways when you pre-design how to ride them. Spread your wings when the pressure rises. Spread your content when the questions surge. The same wind that grounds chickens will lift an eagle that's ready. Be ready. Now tighten your wings. Habit 3 is Whopper Focus Master 1 problem, 1 offer, 1 avatar. Write this down. Specialization creates recall, and recall creates referral and revenue. Everyone sells burgers, but only one sells the Whopper. The market remembers the specialist, not the sampler. Proverbs 22:29 asks, "Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings." Kings don't summon dabblers, they summon masters. Philippians 3:13 gives you your assignment. This one thing I do. Say it. This one thing. Say it again so your soul hears you. This one thing. What's your Whopper? Name the one result you want to own. Not 10 categories. Not 7 side hustles. One result for one person with one pain leading to one measurable outcome. Write this down. If they cannot say you in a sentence, they cannot send you a referral. James 1-8 warns, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Double-minded branding produces unstable revenue. Pick your lane and pave it until your name becomes the road. Craft a memorable promise in one sentence. Structure it like this. I help specific avatar solve specific problem so they get specific measurable outcome in specific time frame without specific trade-off. Examples, write these down. I help solo graphic designers land 2 premium clients in 30 days without cold DMs. I help first-time founders build a 1.0 post authority library in 2 weeks without hiring a copywriter. I help busy moms lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks without counting calories. That's a Whopper sentence. Clear, visual, measurable. If it fits on a billboard, it will fit in their brain. Now the platform move. Build a topic cluster around your keyword, 10 to 20 pieces like stones in a memorial that says, I live here. If your Whopper is freelancer payroll, then your cluster covers pricing, taxes, invoices, late fees, compliance, receipts, quarterly estimates, savings buckets, payment processes, and onboarding. 10 to 20 deep dives, all titled with your keyword, all answering your avatar's exact language. Pin your tagline everywhere, your banner, bio, channel description, pinned post, newsletter, masthead, podcast intro, YouTube about, LinkedIn, headline. Teach the internet how to introduce you. Write this down. Repetition is reputation. You cannot be memorable if you keep moving the goalposts. Listen, depth, not variety, creates recall. The cookie lady did not become a brand by baking 1,000 flavors. She owned one irresistible cookie. Same recipe, same aroma, same line out the door. Then she multiplied batches, not flavors. Then she replenished through kiosks. Then she subdued by owning the roots. And now she dominates her niche. Be fruitful with one flagship. Multiply its forms. Replenish through channels. Subdue the gates, but the hinge is focus. What's your cookie? What's your Whopper? Stop changing your major every quarter. That is dumb. You can be multi-talented and still market one outcome. Your other gifts will serve the one promise. No one refers a nice person. They refer the knee surgeon. Be the surgeon of a single pain. Tell your neighbor, pick your pain. Say it out loud. I am not for everyone. I am essential for someone. Again, I am not for everyone. I am essential for someone. Here is your assignment. By tonight, write your one-sentence Whopper promise. Tomorrow at 4 a.m. liftoff, outline your 10-2-0 piece topic cluster titles first. Keywords included, avatar language quoted. Set your tagline and pin it on every platform before noon. For the next 30 days, every storm pack, every live, every Q&A points to this one offer. Track in your Eagle tracker. Tagline pinned, yes, no. Cluster pieces shipped, count. Inbound messages using your keyword, count. Referrals that repeat your sentence, count. Write this down. If the market can quote you, the market can find you. You were born to master something. Vision narrows, purpose focuses, mastery brands. Choose your Whopper, speak your promise, and saturate your lane until kings must call your name. Habit 4 is fruit. First, put your gift on a clock. Stop hoarding seeds in journals and soon folders. Seeds are potential. Fruit is product. John 15:8 says, by this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. Proof is not in your head. Proof is on the table. Write this down. A clocked flagship makes your gift tangible and discoverable. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't fruit. It's fantasy. Choose one weekly flagship podcast, long-form video, article, live workshop, and covenant with it like a sacred appointment. Say it. The world doesn't eat seeds. I produce fruit on schedule. Perfection is the enemy of production. Ecclesiastes 11:4 warns, he who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. If you wait for flawless, you will bury your gift under weather reports. Take an MVP posture, minimum viable proof. Do the episode with the mic you have, the article with the outline you have, the workshop with the slides you have. Then improve next week. Write this down. Done is the door to dominion. Doors don't open for drafts. They open for deliveries. Luke 16:10 assures us, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. The first 10 fruits may be small, but they qualify you for orchards. Here is how eagles make fruit findable. Anchor a day and an hour and keep it until your audience and the algorithm can set their watches by your obedience. Tuesday, 7 a.m. premiere. Thursday, 8 p.m. live. Saturday, 10 a.m. workshop. Consistency is a lighthouse in a foggy sea. Premiere or go live to train attendance and collect objections in real time. Do the teaching, then open the line. Ask, what tried to stop you from using this today? Their answers are your next episodes, your next products, your next clarifying emails. Write this down. Objections are seeds for next week's fruit. When you capture them, you never run out of content. Your market writes your menu. Give the first bite free. Psalm 34:8 says, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste is a kingdom strategy. Let them sample your excellence, an actionable checklist, a starter template, a chapter 1, a 5-minute clip. Not fluff, fruit. If the bite blesses, the basket will be bought. Producers are generous because they are confident in the orchard. Remember, be fruitful precedes multiply. Generosity is not loss. It is marketing done in heaven's accent. Now, the platform move. Before launch day, release a 30-second trailer that promises the one result you own pinned on every platform. On flagship day, set a premiere so your people can gather. Show up in the chat, say their names, teach, then go live for a 10-15-minute Q&A. Capture every question, tag it by topic, and drop those into your ego tracker as week-by-week assignments. End each flagship with one call to action. Taste the free bite, then one bridge to your core offer. Do not scatter, shepherd. And between flagships, repurpose 3 to 5 clips, quotes, and carousels that point back to the full meal. Habakkuk 2 to 2, make it plain so they can run to it. Clarity compounds. Let me pastor your courage. Your first premiere might have 3 people. Serve them like kings. David practiced in fields. God counted the faithfulness, not the crowd size. A sister in Lagos began a Saturday 90-minute money map live with 8 viewers. She kept her anchor, captured every objection, gave a powerful budgeting template free, and by week 10, her replay was posted on a niche forum by a stranger who became a distributor of her fruit. She did not chase viral, she chased visible, reliable fruit, and influence chased her. Set your vow tonight. Name your flagship. Fix your day and hour. Outline the next 4 topics from your avatar's objections. Record a 30-second trailer. Prepare a simple lead magnet that lets them taste your excellence. Tomorrow at 4 a.m. liftoff, you build week 1. By noon, you schedule the premiere. This week you ship, not someday. Say it. The world doesn't eat seeds. I produce fruit on schedule. Again, done is the door to dominion. One more time, so your habits obey. I put my gift on a clock. I feed the world weekly. My fruit is predictable. When your fruit is on time, nations can find your tree. Now that your fruit is on schedule, hear the next word in the sequence. Multiply. Genesis 1:28 doesn't say be busy. It says be fruitful and multiply. Multiply is not more sweat. Multiply is more seed from the same tree. Write this down. Replication scales presence without diluting mastery. You don't add chaos. You add a pattern. You don't add hours. You add systems. Say it. I don't add hours, I add systems that multiply output. Here is the 1 to 10 rule. One flagship becomes 10 assets within 24-48 hours. Write this down and build it into your ego tracker. Clips, threads, carousels, quotes, shorts, an email, a lead magnet, a webinar snippet, and frequently asked questions document, and a slide deck. 1-2-0-minute teaching yields 3 to 5 short clips. One long post becomes a 5-step thread and a carousel. Your best line becomes quotables for banners and cards. The core idea becomes a 300-500-word newsletter. The objection segment becomes a mini lead magnet checklist. The teaching excerpt becomes a webinar teaser. Your Q&A becomes a canonical frequently asked questions. The structure becomes a slide deck for partners. Fruit into baskets. Baskets into stores. Stores into nations. Are you hearing me? Multiplication requires design. Excellence must be engineered. Write this down. Excellence by design. Stop trusting memory. Build mechanisms. Create SOPs, standard operating procedures that your tired self can obey and your future team can run. Your SOP includes a pre-flight checklist, hook, outline, CTA, a recording protocol, audio levels, frame, B-roll, a post-production flow edit, titles, captions, thumbnail, a distribution cadence, publish, email, socials, syndication, and a QA pass links live, typos, fixed, cards, end screens, set, template, everything, thumbnail styles, title formulas, hook scripts, caption structures, CTA blocks, show notes, format, even your apology email when a link breaks. Proverbs 24:3-4 says, by wisdom a house is built. By understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Houses don't stand on vibes. They stand on blueprints. Your content house needs blueprints. Paul told Timothy in 2 Timothy 2:2, what you have heard from me Entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. That's 4 generations in one sentence, Paul. Timothy, faithful men, others also. That is multiply. Build your others also by packaging your process. Document your hook template, problem, promise, path, proof. Document your CTA ladder, free bite, core offer, community road. Document your file names and folder tree so nothing is lost in the storm. This is how you keep quality when you're tired and speed when you're busy. Now the platform move. Turn your fruit into serial pathways that trigger binge behavior. Create playlists and series, part 1 through part 7, so watch time compounds and the algorithm treats you like a show, not a shout. Map a 7-part arc around your Whopper. Week 1, foundations. Week 2, common mistakes. Week 3, tools. Week 4, case study. Week 5, advanced tactics. Week 6, Q&A. Week 7, recap and next step. Link them with end screens and cards that say next part 2. Pin the playlist on every platform. Title them consistently with your keyword and part number. People don't binge randomness. They binge roads. Write this down. Sequence produces sovereignty again. Let me show you how this looks in the wild. A brother in Manila started a weekly invoice to income flagship for freelancers. He obeyed 1 to 10. The main one, 8-minute lesson, birthed 4 clips, a step thread, a carousel, 6 quotables, a 400-word newsletter, a 1-page late fee script lead magnet, a 9-0 second webinar teaser, an invoice, frequently asked questions doc, and a clean slide deck he could teach at a co-working space. He then packaged 7 weeks into a playlist. Part 1 to part 7, each video pointing to the next. Watch time doubled. Inquiries from co-working spaces tripled. He didn't add hours, he added systems. Say it. I don't add hours, I add systems that multiply output. Your assignment is simple and sacred. Tonight, build your multiply kit. A 1 to 10 checklist template, a hook and title formula sheet, a thumbnail template, a CTA library, a show notes, SOP, a distribution calendar, and a playlist skeleton for your next 7 weeks. Tomorrow at 4 a.m., record your flagship and immediately run the checklist. Within 48 hours, your 10 baskets go live. Track 3 numbers in your Eagle Tracker. Outputs per flagship. Aim for 10 hours saved via templates and playlist completion rate. Luke 9 shows Jesus blessing and breaking bread until it fed thousands with baskets left over. Multiplication follows order and blessing. Bless your process with order. Stop trying to be everywhere as everyone. Be one tree with many baskets. Pattern your fruit until your presence multiplies while your mastery stays pure. Write it down. Replication scales presence without diluting mastery. Say it one more time. So your habits obey you. I don't add hours. I add systems that multiply output. Habit 6 is replenish the earth omnichannel. Translation and syndication. Hear me. Be fruitful. Multiply. Replenish. Replenish means fill every space with your fruit. Genesis 1:28 says, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. That third word is distribution. It is not suggestion, it is strategy. Write this down. Ubiquity increases the surface area of discovery. The more places your fruit appears, the more doors heaven has to bless. Say it. My fruit travels farther than I do. Your gift must become multilingual and multi-format. The world doesn't just speak English. The world speaks hunger, and hunger listens through captions, subtitles, and sound. Romans 10:18 quotes, Psalm 19:4. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. That is discoverability. Build a translation pipeline. Generate clean transcripts from your flagship. Edit them into readable articles. Then create captions, subtitles, and dub voiceovers. Start with accessibility burned, captions on shorts and reels, full subtitles on long form, a transcript link in show notes, a downloadable PDF for readers. Add a dubbed version for your top secondary language. Spanish and Portuguese will take your one tree into half the hemisphere. Write this down. Language is a key. Captions are a bridge. Now syndicate ruthlessly. One message, many roads. Extract audio and mirror your flagship to podcast feeds so commuters and joggers can eat while they move. Post a cleaned article to your site and cross-publish to Medium or Substack. Convert it into a LinkedIn newsletter to reach professionals where they already read. Pitch the same idea as a guest column for niche blogs and as a guest episode on a Line podcast. This is not different fruit. This is the same fruit at different gates. Mark 16:15 says, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." In business language, take your value to every channel where your avatar already congregates. Platform move, engineer, time zone rotations, and language drops. Schedule your core language premiere in the morning of your primary market, then schedule clipped reels for evening prime time in Europe, and set a weekend Spanish short series every Saturday at 10 a.m. Mexico City time. Tuesday, English, long form at 7 a.m. your time. Wednesday, audio podcast mirrored at 5 a.m. Eastern. Thursday, LinkedIn newsletter at 8:30 a.m. London. Saturday, Spanish shorts, Sunday night. A carousel recap for Asia's Monday morning. Write this down. Calendars create continents. When you respect their clocks, you enter their lives. Let me show you how this works. A teacher in Nairobi added Swahili subtitles to her budget in a binder flagship. Within 2 weeks, a radio producer in Arusha pulled a quote from a LinkedIn newsletter and invited her for a 10-minute segment. The segment drove 3,100 downloads of her free template in 48 hours. Same fruit, new road. A designer in Los Angeles started burning captions on every short. A deaf student discovered his reel, shared it in a private forum, and within a month he booked his first corporate workshop because accessibility became advocacy. Write it down. Mercy increases market. Partnerships multiply miles. Build a syndication one-sheet your bio, Whopper sentence, 3 talk titles, headshot, flagship link, and a short intro blurb. Every week, pitch 5 aligned newsletters, 3 podcasts, and 2 community leaders with a precise offer. Here's a 700-word article adapted for your readers, or here are 3 questions we can answer for your audience. Don't beg. Serve their win. Ubiquity is not spam. It is stewardship. Measure what matters. Track in your ego tracker. Channels live count. Languages added count. And partner placements per month count. Add reach by language and completion rate by time zone to see where the wind is strongest. When the metric moves, you double down on the road that carries you farthest. Here is your assignment. Tonight, map your replenish routes. List your primary and secondary languages. Identify 5 channels you will mirror to. Schedule your time zone rotation for the next 4 weeks. Assemble your syndication one sheet and create a simple translation, SOP, transcript, edit, caption, subtitle, dub, review. Tomorrow at 4 a.m., generate last week's transcript. Post the cleaned article to your site. Mirror the audio to your podcast feed. Cue 2 caption shorts and upload a Spanish subtitle file. Then send your one sheet to 5 partners before noon. Say it with faith and foresight. My fruit travels farther than I do. Again, my fruit travels farther than I do. Ubiquity increases the surface area of discovery. Fill the earth with your excellence until nations can find your tree without you getting on a plane. Now hear the 4th word in the sequence after. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue. Subdue means control the gates, manage the roads, set the terms of access. Genesis 1:28 is not poetry, it is policy. Be fruitful, produce, multiply, replicate, replenish, distribute, subdue, own the roads. Dominion follows. Write this down. Distribution is not dominion. Ownership is. You cannot subdue markets you rent. Say it. I control my roads. Own the relationship. Stop living on borrowed land. Social platforms or rented apartments. They can evict you with an update. Build your house email, SMS, a private community, and a clean CRM that knows your people by name and need. John 10:3 says, he calls his own sheep by name. That is CRM tags, segments, notes. Proverbs 27:23 commands, be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. That is, list health opens, clicks, replies, purchase history, tagged by problem, by stage, by product use, by language. When you know the flock, you can feed the flock. Write this down. Rent audiences, own customers. Design recurring values so your gates are not ghost towns. Fellowship is a rhythm, not an event. Acts 2:42 says, they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and daily in the temple and from house to house. Design weekly office hours, monthly challenges, quarterly cohorts, and a simple membership that solves the same problem repeatedly. If your Whopper is freelancer payroll, your membership gives a live First Friday money map, a quarterly tax prep sprint, and a year-end close kit. If your promise is lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks, your membership cycles, meal plans, habit check-ins, and a Saturday live kitchen. Write this down. Repetition solves retention. People stay where problems keep getting solved on schedule. Here is your platform move. Every post is a road sign. One road, one city. Lead magnet, welcome sequence, community invite, flagship offer. Say it. One road, one city. The lead magnet is the first bite template, checklist, script. The welcome sequence is 3 to 5 messages that position you, story, system, step. Email 1, your conviction and the problem you exist to solve. Email 2, your method, the 5 steps with 1 quick win. Email 3, a case study and a gentle invitation into your private community. Email 4, your flagship offer, same promise, clear next step. Every reel, thread, and carousel has 1 link, and that link points to the bite, not 10 options. Are you getting this? Subdue is clarity at the gate. Build moats so storms cannot evict you. Nehemiah walked around the walls at night to assess the breaches. Then he built with sword and trowel. Your moats are data, relationships, licensing, and partnerships. Data, your lists, your tags, your analytics, exported, backed up, and portable. Relationships, your community platform with direct messaging and regular office hours where they know your voice. Licensing, package your frameworks, templates, and curriculum so partners can legally carry your fruit with your name on it, powered by your brand in schools, co-ops, and companies. Partnerships, affiliate agreements, co-branded workshops, and syndication deals that keep your distribution flowing even if one platform storms. Matthew 16:18, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Gates are access points. Build yours, then fortify them. Write this down. Service-based moats make you storm-proof. Say it. I serve my people. Storms cannot evict me. Let me show you. A bookkeeper in Kingston built a First Friday finance community, 90-minute live office hours each month, weekly check-in threads, and a quarterly receipts to reports sprint. Every Instagram post pointed to her late fee script lead magnet. The welcome sequence told her story, taught her 5-bucket system, invited folks into the community, then offered her setup service. When her account was hacked, she didn't beg a platform. She emailed and texted her list, opened a Zoom, and 163 members showed up anyway. She licensed her 5 buckets template to 2 co-working spaces who now pay annually to use it with her brand attached. Instagram lost access. Her road stayed open. That is subdue. Here is your assignment. Tonight, sketch your roads and moats map. Build or refine 1 lead magnet. Write a 4-part welcome sequence, story, system, step, offer. Open a private community space and schedule a weekly office hour for the next 8 weeks. Create 3 CRM tags, avatar, problem, product. Set every post this week to route to the same bite. Draft 1 simple licensing sheet for your core template and list 3 partners to approach. Back up your lists. Tomorrow at 4 a.m., load your sequence, set your office hour event, and replace links in your bios. Track in your ego tracker. List growth, count, welcome completion percentage, community join rate percentage, office hour attendance, count. Recurring revenue amount. And partner licenses, count. Say it so your soul aligns with your systems. I control my roads. I serve my people. Storms cannot evict me. Again, I control my roads. I serve my people. Storms cannot evict me. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue. Then dominion is not a miracle. It is math blessed by God. Subdue with community. And your influence will not be a flare. It will be a lighthouse. Now let's put a seal on all of this. Your commissioning. Listen carefully. If you don't deploy yourself, you'll be employed. Genesis 1:28 is a sequence, not a slogan. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and then dominion. Write this down. Dominion is a byproduct. Habits are the cause. So we will measure the cause. Psalm 90:12 says, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Numbering your days is how you convert inspiration into administration. This is your ego tracker and your 30-day dominion sprint. The ego tracker is not cute, it is covenant. Daily you check what you control. Early flight block done, yes or no? Did you lift off at 4 a.m. for 90 focus minutes on purpose instead of problems? Flagship shift, yes or no? The world doesn't eat drafts, it eats deliveries. 1 to 10 multiplication. Count how many derivative assets did yesterday's fruit produce. Channels posted. How many rows did you drive that fruit down today? List growth. How many new names entered your house? Community touch points. How many humans did you serve by name today? Replies, DMs, comments, office hours, check-ins. That's daily. Weekly. You sit with yourself like Proverbs 27:23. Commands, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. You review completion rates, playlist progression, language coverage, partner pitches sent, welcome sequence completions, and conversions. Write this down. Measure inputs you command, review outcomes God breathes on. Now the 30-day sprint, Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain so he may run who reads it. We're going to run in 4 lanes, 7 days each, and finish with a mini launch in your own roads. Days 1 to 7, fruit. Put your gift on a clock and let the world taste. Choose and fix your flagship day and hour. Record week 1. Publish it. Give to grow. Create the first bite a checklist, template, or sample and attach it to your flagship with a single clear CTA. Load your 4-part welcome sequence. Story, system, step, offer, track daily, early flight, yes, no, flagship shift, yes, no, new subscribers count, byte downloads count. Faith without works is dead, James 2:17 says. This is living faith with scheduled fruit. Days 8 to 14, multiply. Run the 1 to 10 rule within 48 hours of your flagship. Build your templates, thumbnail, title formula, hook script, show notes, CTA blocks. Draft your SOPs so tired you can obey disciplined you. Assemble a 7-part playlist skeleton around your Whopper. Track 1 to 10 count per flagship. Hours saved by templates. Playlist parts linked. Objections captured for next week. Days 15 to 21. Replenish. Fill the earth with your fruit. Mirror audio to your podcast. Clean the transcript into an article and post it to your site. Then cross-publish. Burn captions. Add full subtitles. And drop a dubbed version in 1 secondary language. Give to grow again, a short starter pack for partners. This is Partnership Week. Send your syndication 1 sheet to 5 newsletters, 3 podcasts, and 2 community leaders. Track. Channels posted per day. Languages live. Partner pitches sent. Placements secured. Days 22 to 30. Subdue with a community mini launch. Open the gate you own. Host a 60, 90-minute office hour or workshop inside your community. Walk them through your flagship promise. Answer live objections and invite them into a simple membership or cohort with 1 clear next step. License 1 template powered by your brand to at least 1 partner. Fortify moats. Back up your list. Export your tags. Test your SMS and set a 2nd office hour. Track. Community. RSVPs, live attendance, welcome, sequence, completion rate, conversions, and at least 1 licensing agreement in progress. Write this down. Habits tracked become influence compounded. You are not chasing virality. You are compounding obedience. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit your works to the Lord and your plans will be established. Commit the works, the early flight, the shipping, the multiplying, the replenishing, the subduing, and God will breathe on the harvest you cannot manufacture. Tonight, print or build your Eagle Tracker. A simple daily roll with yes, no fields and counts for early flight, flagship ship 1 to 10, channels posted, list growth, community touch points. A weekly review sheet for playlist completion, language coverage, partner pitches, welcome sequence, completion, and conversions. Block your 4 a.m. liftoff for the next 30 days on your calendar. Name your flagship day. Draft your bite. Prepare your welcome sequence. Set your first office hour for day 26. When the sun rises, you are not waiting for a job. You are deploying an assignment. Now align your mouth with your mission. Say it, I am necessary. Say it again, I deploy my gift. Say it, I ride storms. Say it, I own my roads. Say it, my fruit multiplies and replenishes the earth. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue. Then dominion will not surprise you. It will locate you. Go now. Start the 30-day deployment. When I see you next, I expect to taste your fruit and hear nations quoting your whopper.